Good morning, Unity of Sarasota. When I saw Susie's talk title today, which is Sincere Questions on Common Ground Lead to Revelations, it right away hit me that one of the lines in one of my own songs, I Am All That I Believe, is that questions are answers in good time. And love is the answer that seeks me to find. So I decided that this would be the song for today, for the start. I am all that I believe. All of my desires on the way to me. Open to receive gifts that God is giving through me. Full of love, bursting out with joy, opening my heart to start again. Questions are answers in good time. Love is the answer seeking me to find. And now that I am opening up my eyes to see, well, the light is on and I am coming home. I am coming home. I believe. All of my desire on the way to me. I am open to receive the gifts that God is giving through me. Full of love, bursting out with joy, opening my heart to start again. All that I believed before has led to yet another door. Opening my heart's desire comes to me in every second. Seeing and believing are walking hand in hand. Now the light is on and I am right at home. I am right at home. I am all that I believe. I am open to receive. I am all that I believe. I am open to receive. Let's repeat that a few times together. I am all that I believe. I am open to receive. I am all that I believe. And I am open to receive. Your turn. I am all that I believe. I am open to receive. One more time. I am all that I believe. Open to receive. I am open to receive. Dream of possibility. contented with that life you seek. Look to every moment to give that dream a heartbeat. Then you'll find you're walking in the dreams that we once shared. Well, we found a home and we are welcome here. We are welcome here. We are welcome here. We are welcome here. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob Satori. That was the perfect song for today.
I know.
Thank you so much.
We did it so long ago, but I thought the questions are answers, man.
No, it was perfect. It was perfect. Because, we are what we believe, and questions can help us to get more clear on what that belief is in ourselves and in one another, and including those people who believe very differently than we do. And that's really what I'm going to be talking about today. In the meantime, for those of you who don't know, I'm Reverend Dr. Susie Shadle. I welcome you to Unity of Sarasota, where something wonderful is happening right this very minute. And that same wonderful happening is right where you are, too, wherever you may be. The wonder, the awe and the wonder of the universe is within and all around you right now. So breathe that in. Take that in and own it. Really own it. I just want to send out a special welcome to all of you who are joining us this morning via our live stream on our website or on our Facebook Live page. Wherever you may be in your spiritual journey, in your life journey, we welcome you to journey with us, because we're all on that life journey, that spiritual journey. And the journey is made better by the company we keep. And so let's keep each other's company. Unity of Sarasota is a beacon of light and love, opening minds, touching hearts, and transforming lives. We are an inclusive spiritual community that embraces empowering and life-affirming practical spirituality for richer living right here and right now. And we join our unity movement worldwide in creating a world that works for all. Creating a world that works for all. And one of the steps for doing that is to ask good questions so that we can understand and we can find our common ground and ultimately land in unity. In unity. And so we are working together to create a world that works for all. And I know that sounds like a grand plan and maybe airy-fairy, but I'll tell you what, I believe it, and I believe it's possible, and I believe we can do it together. And so really own that. Creating a world that works for all. Please do us a favor, if you would, and do yourselves and our world a favor, and let your friends and acquaintances on social media know about Unity of Sarasota. You can click love and like and share and all the clicks that you can click, and let them know about our online live stream service on Sunday mornings at 10:30, and also about our Wednesday evening music and inspiration service. That's at 7 o'clock on Wednesdays. We broadcast those live stream on the website, unityofsarasota.org, and also on our Facebook page. And you can watch them later, too. You don't have to be here on time. It's one of the few times you don't have to be here on time. You can look at the recording later, or you can look at it again. So at any rate, we would love to let more people know about the life-affirming teaching that we have to offer, and invite people to step into this place. As the song said, all are welcome. All are welcome here. I just have a few announcements. The first one I want to start with is I want to thank the building and grounds team who were here yesterday, keeping up the grounds and keeping it beautiful. We have been blessed with such a beautiful campus, and they keep it that way. And also things inside the building, keeping things maintained and repaired and spruced up and looking good and supporting us. And so I want to thank all of those people. I know this sounds silly, but if you were part of the building and grounds team that was here yesterday, loving up this place, I want you to stand up, even if you're by yourself in your own living room. Stand up and be recognized for the love you give. That's if you can stand after working so hard yesterday, I guess. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out and thank you. I also wanted to let you know that we have lots of interactive online opportunities to stay connected and be engaged in this spiritual community. Go to our website, unityofsarasota.org. You can find out all the things that are happening there. Watch our newsletters that come out on Monday evening and Wednesday evening, and you will see all the things that are available to you and that you can, and how you can plug into those. And if you don't already subscribe to the newsletter, just go right ahead. And we're naming the newsletter, by the way. Came up with a name. The newsletter is going to be called The Spirit Express. So sign up for The Spirit Express on the website, or call here and Darlene will do it for you. We can make it as easy as possible, and that way you stay informed of all the things that are available to you. Just want to highlight a couple of things, reminders. First and third Tuesdays, 5 p.m., I do a Zoom meditation, and you will need to send me an email so I can send you the link and the passcode to get on there. Okay, so that, and we do that for safety reasons, so that people that have other things besides meditation in mind don't interrupt what we're doing. And then also I want to say, starting the first Sunday in February, we're going to start the 9 o'clock services out at the Labyrinth again. And we may have a surprise addition to that service that makes it even easier for people to be here in person, at least see each other. No touching, but you can see each other. And it's really beautiful and wonderful out there, so I invite you to really consider that. It's a great way to connect without touching. No touch connection. It's just like all these restaurants, no touch food, no touch pickup, whatever it is.
Eating with my mask on has been really a challenge.
Yeah, yes, eating with the mask on. I saw somebody, somebody poked a hole in their mask so they could drink through a straw. And I said, yeah, well, how do you close the hole later, though? That's the thing. Anyway, people are coming up with pretty inventive things around all the masks. And again, being one who had a really pretty bad bout with COVID, do wear your masks. Do wear your mask. I'm nowhere near anybody, and right now I'm immune. I'm probably one of the safest people right now. But I wear my mask until I, come up here. So please, 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 do the things that keep us all safe. Okay? Thank you. And also, I would offer also that it's important that we continue to support our spiritual community so we can continue to offer the things that we offer. And so we appreciate all of you who have continued to support us with your time, talent, and treasure. Your financial support is absolutely necessary for us to be able to do the things that we do here to continue to fulfill our vision and our mission. And so I thank all of you who are supporting us, and I invite those of you who are able to please touch your heart and let your heart guide you as to what it is that you might be able to give to support this spiritual community. And just know that we appreciate it, and that the energy, the good energy of that gift travels far, 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 actually far, far, far beyond this campus. And so I want to do that right now, do my own giving.
I got some in there too.
Oh, we have some.
Every little bit helps.
There's some cash money there. There's some actual cash. Thank you, Rob. And so we thank you all, and just know that we are grateful to Father, Mother, God for the abundance that comes to us, that allows us to use it and then multiply that abundance with our positive energy and send it back out again to do greater work still. And for this, we are eternally grateful. And so it is. And together we say, thank God within and all around me. Amen. And so let's get centered. Let's get fully centered, fully present in prayer. So I'd invite you to close your eyes. Otherwise, a soft focus so that you can just relax and be present. And one of the best ways for us to get present is through the breath. breathing into the very center of our being. And so let's do that together. Allow that breath to surround your heart space, and then release the breath fully. And again, breathing in deeply and exhaling fully, we breathe into that place at the center of our being where our humanity and our divinity intersect, and know that there is only one. And from that one Father, Mother, God, Spirit come the many and diverse expressions of that one. And yet, in all our diversity, we remain one in the unity of all life and all creation. And so we know that we are infused with the wisdom and the presence and the power and the harmony and the peace and the love, the absolute good that God is. Each one of us is an expression of all of that good that we receive. And so I am grateful for this time together to remind ourselves and one another who we truly are, so that we, most importantly, can give thanks for that awareness of truth. But more importantly, out of that awareness of the truth of our being, we live that truth in all that we are, all that we think, all that we say, and all that we do. And so for this remembrance and our living as truth, I am eternally grateful. And so it is. And together we say, thank God within, all around us. Amen. Our daily word is truly an appropriate one today, oneness. And our affirmation is, I am divine. I am divine. Say that with me. I am divine. Over the years, I've learned there is a spark of divinity within me and within all people. This divine spark binds us as members of one family and deepens our awareness of God. Today, my understanding of my divinity expands. My divine nature is so much more than a spark. It is my essence, who I truly am. I realize I don't have to rely on anything outside myself for love, comfort, and guidance. Everything I could ever need from God is already mine and is expressing as me. My realization of oneness extends to all people whom I now see as fellow divine beings. Freed from all illusion of separation, I am aware of the divine presence everywhere, expressing through everyone. We are divine. Say that with me. We are divine. And our scripture comes from John 17:21. That they may all be one, as you, Father, are in me and I am in you, may they also be in us. I am divine. We are divine. In our statement of being, if you have one of our little handouts at home with you, great. If you know it by heart, that's even better. And if not, just let these words permeate your beingness. Our statement of being. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God, who is perfect life, perfect intelligence, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am an individualized expression of God. You are an individualized expression of God. We are individualized expressions of God.
You got a part in this.
Okay, I've got a part in this because I'm going to tell you the words. This is by a friend of mine, Linda Webb-Kakaba, who unfortunately for us is no longer on this planet, but she's in a bigger space that contains us. So Linda Webb-Kakaba, this song, I'm going to yell out the words to you. You'll get it here. And sing along if you know it, and if you don't, you'll catch on.
So we're going to start with know, what I need to know.
To know.
They need to know that. Everything that I need to know about what lies within me. Everything that I need to know about what lies before me is available to me, is available to me through the mind of God within me.
To accept
Everything that I need to accept about what lies within me. Everything that I need to accept about what lies before me is available to me, is available to me through the mind of God within me.
to release
Everything that I need to release about what lies within me. Everything that I need to release about what lies before me is available to me, is available to me through the mind of God within me.
to do
Everything that I need to do about what lies within me. Everything that I need to do about what lies before me is available to me, is available to me through the mind of God within me.
to know
Everything that I need to know about what lies within me. Everything that I need to know about what lies within me is available to me, is available to me through the mind of God within me. Hey, a little reggae feel there.
There you go. Thanks, Rob.
All right.
You know, there's something very soothing, very calming, very peaceful to know that everything we need to know, to accept, to release, to do, to know, to realize, to any of those things is within us, it's around us, because it is in the mind of God that is within us and all around us. So, you know, when you think you don't know something and you start fretting over it, stop, let it go, because it's in there, it's in there. We have a wonderful divine partner. So, last week, I said in my talk that we are called to find common ground and to use our American ideals and our unity principles to understand one another and to heal ourselves and our common humanity, so that we can express from our wholeness instead of our brokenness. Now, today I want to focus on that common ground a bit more, and so I want to talk about sincere questions on common ground lead to revelations. Questions can lead us to revelations, but we have to be able to be on common ground to hear one another's questions, to be able to reveal the answers. Now, I believe that common ground facilitates the activation of our aspiration for unity, for creating a world that works for all. You know, it's a nice platitude or a nice turn of phrase if it's just an aspiration. But when we stand on common ground, that becomes the activation of that aspiration to come together in unity, to create that world that works for all. Common ground is the holy ground, the sacred ground upon which we become that beacon of light and love that we say we are, opening minds and touching hearts and transforming lives. Now, I think that most of you would agree that we have some problems. We have some problems. You know, a lot of times in New Thought, we don't talk about problems. We like to stay at the level of, oh, ain't it all grand and spiritual and wonderful and good? And we like to forget sometimes that we're having a human experience at the same time that we're aspiring to a more spiritual experience. But I think you'd all agree with me, we have some problems at the human level of experience, individually and collectively, as communities and nations and as humanity. And problems and conflicts arise from our not understanding one another and from the unexamined and unhealed aspects of ourselves and others. Every single one of us is responsible for the experiences that we create through our thoughts, our feelings, our beliefs, our consciousness, and our actions. Every single one of us is responsible. We don't get to push that off on somebody else and blame it on them. Nobody ever figures out who them is anyway, and it doesn't work, pointing the finger of blame. We're the ones responsible. And if each of us embrace that responsibility, then together, individually and collectively, we can change things. Problems and conflicts can become creative opportunities to heal and to grow together. Conflict is not necessarily bad. It's the way we handle conflict sometimes that's not so wonderful. But if we handle conflict in creative and powerful and positive ways, it becomes a catalyst for healing and growth and connection. One of my teachers, Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith, believes every problem is a question begging to be asked, and every question is an answer trying to be revealed, and every answer is an action or a way of life wanting to be expressed through us. To explore that path from problem to question to answer to action requires that we be willing to move out of our comfort zone into an awkward zone, or even into a discomfort zone, which ultimately stretches us into a brand new comfort zone. And then we can start the process all over again, and we continue to grow. And thereby, we also have the capacity to turn stumbling blocks of problems into stepping stones onto common ground. First, you know how on the airline when you're flying and they're doing the safety thing in the beginning, and they always tell you if the oxygen mask drops down, put your own mask on first before you help others, because you're no earthly good if you can't breathe first. Same thing's true with this idea of stepping onto common ground and asking questions that we truly listen to the answers to. First, examine and question our own beliefs and our own unexamined truths. Unexamined truths, those things that we just accept and don't even really think about. Descartes wrote, "If you'd be a real seeker after truth, it's necessary that at least once in your life you doubt, as far as possible, all things." Yes, it's a good idea every now and then to pretend that you've got sort of a blank slate and you're questioning everything before you put it back on that slate. I did that when I was in high school. I think I've shared this story before, but I'm going to share it again. I had a teacher, Mr. Weidenhouse, and I believe this was, I can't remember if it was my junior or senior year. I think it might have been my senior year. And I was very, very, I don't know, by the tender young age of 17 or so, I thought I had, life pretty well figured out, and I had all my set beliefs, and I had it all nicely organized, neatly packaged, and I was good to go. And then my senior year came along Mr. Weidenhouse, and I despised that man at the beginning of that senior year because he caused me to start questioning every single thing I believed, and it made me angry. I thought, you're messing up my nice, neat package here. But as I began to stop protesting and began to listen just a little bit, I began to realize his wisdom. And so I did a thing in my senior year of high school that was a huge gift and changed my life. And Mr. Weidenhouse, wherever you are, probably not on the planet anymore, but wherever you are, thank you. Thank you for teaching me how to think. Thank you for changing my life and making it meaningful. Teachers, it'd be nice if we knew enough to thank them at the time, but I'm a little late, but thank you, Mr. Widenhouse, because what I did that senior year is I did the best I possibly could to take my little slate of awareness and beliefs and life and wipe it clean, and to take each belief that I thought I held and say, okay, where'd this come from? Do I really believe it? Does it ring true for me? Does it belong back on my slate? And I did that as best I could with all the various things that I thought I believed and held true. And not everything went back on that slate, I can guarantee you. And my life changed enormously in that moment. So every now and then, it's good to reevaluate and wipe a few things off the slate and allow some other new things to come on. You know, many of our beliefs are passed down unquestioned from our parents and our teachers, our society, our leaders, our ministers, our churches, you name it. It's a veritable fire hose of truth being passed down, often unquestioned. So it's good to trace back to the roots, to understand our own foundation, and to understand, is that really my foundation? Does it ring true for me anymore? You know, to question the beliefs and the statements that we have automatically accepted as true. To ask yourself, when did I begin to believe that? And what do I believe about that now? And is there something else that needs to replace it? You know, those probing questions of mind and heart and soul can take us deeper into a deeper awareness of who we truly are and what it is that we have been called to express, who it is we've come here to be, and what we've come here to do. You know, one inspired question leads us to more and deeper questions, and those lead us into awarenesses and revelations and clarity about ourselves and about those we care about and about strangers even, and about people we completely disagree with. But before we launch forward and start asking other people a bunch of questions, it's a good idea if we ask ourselves a few other questions before we ask them some of these same questions, or even deeper ones still. One might be, will this belief or choice that I'm about to make move me toward the future I want, or will it keep me stuck in my past? So to really question our own thinking and our own actions. Two, will this belief or choice that I'm about to embark upon bring me long-term fulfillment, or will it simply bring me short-term gratification? Three, am I listening to understand, or am I looking for what's wrong so that I can whoosh in and fix it? If you're looking for something to fix, go get a job as a mechanic someplace. Fixing other people rarely works well. And four, will I ask open questions and listen to understand and to find common ground, or will I judge and make myself and others wrong? So question yourself and your own motivations and how you can approach embarking upon a dialogue of questions and listening with others. And know, too, that the depth of our questions impacts the quality of our dialogue and certainly the quality of the answers and revelations we receive. Answers are revealed through the questions themselves. The better the questions, the better the answers. Tony Robbins, who, by the way, got all, you know Tony Robbins, is richer than God at this point, and, has really transformed lots of lives, and he's got, all this training and things that you can do. I know some of our people have experienced Tony Robbins' teachings. Tony Robbins was taught by a New Thought church in San Diego. That's where he got all this stuff. So it's straight out of New Thought. And Tony Robbins teaches that the quality of our questions create a quality life. The better questions we ask, the better the answers and the revelations we get about our own lives and the lives of others. You know who's good at questions? Those of you who are parents and grandparents know the answer to this. Children. Children, on average, ask hundreds of questions every day, and most of you will know that. And rather than getting annoyed, encourage them to keep asking questions as they get older, because adults only ask one or two, if we're lucky, a day. Questions are what really get at the deepest answers. Questions that we're willing to listen for the answers. Children, so maybe hang out with your children or grandchildren and learn how to ask more questions. Our thoughts, our feelings, our beliefs, and our consciousness create our individual and our collective experience in life. And good questions can plumb the depths of ourselves and one another and clarify those thoughts and feelings and beliefs. Good questions like, who am I? Not just Susie Shadle. Who am I? Who am I truly at depth? And who are you? Tell me who you truly are. Why am I here living at this time in human history? Why are you here at this time living in human history? Who have we been called to be? And what have we been called to do? What do I want my life to be? Paint that picture. What do you want your life to be? Paint that picture for me so that I can see it, I can hear it, I can feel it, I can experience you. Questions guide us to understand ourselves and to understand others. We can learn what is most important and inspiring to us and to others through the questions that we ask and listen to. We can learn what we and others think, feel, and believe through the deeper questions that we ask. And listening deeply opens minds. It touches hearts. It transforms lives. When we listen deeply, it opens minds and touches hearts and transforms lives, not only our own, but others as well. We open each other's minds. We touch each other's hearts. We transform each other's lives. As we share, it's something that I've learned, maybe as part of the wisdom that comes with age. But what I've learned is that when we share the things that are most personal to us, what we begin to discover is that most personal sharing is also what is most universal among us in this human experience. Those are part of the commonalities that we share, that those things that we think are most personal and individual to us are truly what is most universal. We begin to find common ground for the common good and the individual good. And all of that can lead us to unity. I've been thinking about and really wrestling for a while now about ways to facilitate common ground dialogues. And this week, watching the news, seems like every other word is unity. So we're saying a lot about unity, but we're not necessarily seeing a lot yet. And you know what? Here's another thing that was like a revelation to me shortly after I became a minister. I had this same assumption when I first joined a 12-step group and got clean and sober. And I had the same sort of assumption when I became very involved in my spiritual life with New Thought. I thought, well, all of us, here's what we have in common. I decided for all of us what we had in common, and that was that we were all really good and wonderful people, and we all thought alike. While we might be of like mind, we are not carbon copies of each other, and we don't all agree on everything. Even here at Unity of Sarasota, we have differences of opinions and differences of what we think and feel and believe, even in our like-mindedness. And you know what? That's okay, because if we were all carbon copies of one another, all but one of us would be redundant. And so it's good that we have this diversity that creates this fabric that is absolutely beautiful, with all of its different colors and textures and fabrics. And so it's good that we have this diversity within unity. But anyway, I have to, I have to say, while I was watching all these news things and every other word, unity this and unity, 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 I jumped up in front of my television. I said, we're right here on Proctor Road. So I'm like, come on down. And then I thought, why not explore that common ground at Unity of Sarasota? Albeit virtually to begin with, and hopefully in the not too distant future in person. Why not have those common ground dialogues as part of our unity community? To invite those who we think may believe differently than us, may have different opinions than we do. And maybe it starts with those discussions among ourselves, to find those differences and for people to feel comfortable to express them. Comfortable and safe. And so I'm interested in what I'm sort of calling synthesis dialogues, and as an effort to find common ground and ultimately unity. And what I mean by synthesis is, somebody has an idea or a thought or an opinion, which can be considered a thesis, if you will. And somebody else comes along and says, well, I believe the opposite. Well, that person has the antithesis of that thesis. But ultimately, as we open up to questions and discussions and learn from one another, we can create a synthesis, which is not the thesis, it's not the antithesis, it is a third new way that we create together. Something neither one would have thought of alone, but together we've created something new, a synthesis. When we ask questions and we listen to understand without judgment or condemnation or an intention to persuade them to our way of thinking, when we ask clarifying questions to better understand, we all learn from that. We all deepen and grow and expand from that, and we're all the better for it. It doesn't have to be contentious. Conflict doesn't have to be a nasty thing. It can be powerfully creative in moving from that thesis, antithesis to synthesis, to finding the common ground that ultimately leads us to unity. It's important that we be willing to ask questions and truly listen, and to be willing to answer questions, to share openly and authentically from our mind, from our heart, from our spirit. And so I ask you, and I'm really asking this question, who among you would be interested in a common ground dialogue? Who would be interested in participating in that and creating the space for that, to experimenting with that? And I truly want to know. This is not something I want to do myself or run or I've got it all figured out. I don't. Send me an email or give me a call if you're interested in sitting together and having some common ground dialogues. Let's create it together. Let's create this opportunity together. And here's an opportunity for us at Unity of Sarasota to live up to our name, unity. To live up to our name. And unity doesn't mean there's not diversity amongst us. Unity doesn't mean that there's not a difference of opinion. Unity doesn't mean that. Unity is a big container that can embrace a multitude of diversity. So if you're interested, let me know, because I am. I want to go back to that beginning quote that I used from Michael Beckwith. Every problem is a question begging to be asked. Every question is an answer trying to be revealed. And every answer is an action or a way of life wanting to be expressed through us. So I want to give you an example of how that sort of works. The first thing we do is we identify a problem, an issue, a conflict. We clearly state what's so right now. And I'm just going to throw this out there. I don't have this all defined and polished. But I would venture a guess that right now, some of that problem conflict would be disunity, divisiveness, unrest, violence. And the next step then, from Michael's quote, would be to ask open questions to reveal and to transform that problem. What would be the light of the positive opposite of that problem? What do we want to experience instead of disunity, divisiveness, unrest? violence. It might be respect, peace, unity, caring, sharing. We might ask ourselves, what is the nature of the common ground upon which we want to stand? It might be to look for our likenesses as well as our differences, to share our ideas, to look not only for the likenesses, but to listen to the differences and to have some respect for those. We might ask ourselves, what is the nature of peaceful creative conflict? And it might really be the safe container within which we can share our ideas, those that we agree with and those that we don't. To commit to disagreeing respectfully. We might ask ourselves, what is the nature of unity? And it might be something like, all parts are contained in the whole. That unity it's like a salad. All the different ingredients in the salad maintain their own individuality, and yet together they make something new. You know, the tomatoes still taste like tomatoes, and the lettuce is still lettuce, and the carrots and the whatever else you put in there. And yet we've made a salad together. We have something new, something more interesting. Now, the third part of Michael's quote might be to name and to claim and to activate the answers that are revealed to us. And so we might take what we learn from those questions about common ground and about creative conflict and about, we might ask some questions, take those questions and turn them into statements, saying the nature of common ground is finding our likenesses, respecting our differences. The nature of peaceful creative conflict is sharing ideas, creating new ideas from diverse ideas. The nature of unity is diversity within the wholeness of all life. So you begin to get an idea of, and obviously that goes on and on and on, and you hear from everybody in the group, in the dialogue. And we start to paint a different picture than uncreative conflict, destructive conflict. We create something that starts to come together. So instead of this, we begin to get this. We come together and create something new, a new container, if you will. And the last part of Michael's quote is really about declaring an action that we will take toward common ground this week. For each one of us individually, what action might I take to move us closer to common ground this week? And it's out of all of that questioning and listening and dialogue that we get a clearer picture of what's wanted, so that we can move from what's so now to what's wanted, and we do the work in the gap in between. We open minds, we touch hearts, we transform lives, our own and each other's. The action is important. It's like the cement. It's the cement. It's the activation of our aspiration. Makes it real in our human and our spiritual experience. It's one of my favorite quotes from Ernest Holmes. Inspiration without application and activation is hallucination. And it's so true. It's a cute turn of phrase, but you know what? It's so true. And how many times have you and I and all of us had all kinds of inspiration, got all excited, and it just went. Inspiration without application and activation is hallucination. Let us not hallucinate, but let us act upon that which we know is the truth. I'm going to leave you with a couple of affirmations. 1, when I'm faced with a problem or conflict, I accept responsibility to ask questions and listen to understand. When I am faced with a problem or conflict, I accept responsibility to ask questions and to listen to understand. 2, I listen from deeper, probing questions about myself and others. I learn from deeper, probing questions about myself and others. And 3, I listen without judgment and ask clarifying questions to understand more deeply. Sincere questions on common ground lead to revelations. Blessings on your journey of questioning to reveal. Re-examine your own beliefs and share them authentically. And ask others open questions and listen to understand. Follow the poet Rumi onto common ground. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing or right doing, there is a field. I will meet you there. And so it is. And together we say, thank God within and all around us. Amen. Here's another song that if you know it, please sing it with us. There's only one. Melissa Felipe.
There is only one of us. In your eyes it's me I see. There is only one of us. You are my reflection. There is only one. There is only one of us. In your eyes it's me I see. There is only one of us. You are my reflection. There is only one. There is only one of us. In your eyes it's me I see. There is only one of us. You are my reflection. There is only one.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Rob. I just want to remind you that this Wednesday at 7 o'clock for our music and inspiration service, the theme is gratitude, and the music will be brought to you by Phil Lieber, and I'm going to attempt to have enough hot air for my flute, at least on a song or two. We'll see. Breathing's coming back. It's not all the way back. We'll see. Maybe the small flute, maybe not Big Bertha, you know. So anyway, do join us on Wednesday evening. It's always very special, very special. It takes us deep. And I do want to thank all of you for joining your energy with ours this morning, and more importantly, for joining your energy on common ground so that we can live out the unity that we say we believe. I thank you for that. And I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday evening, 7 p.m., and again next Sunday for our celebration at 10:30. And so let's do our prayer for protection, and then we'll follow it with the peace song. Okay. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be with God, our Creator. Family, all are we. Yes, we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every breath I take, yes, this is my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with thee.
Blessings on your journey this week. Find common ground and stand upon it.